The gender gap in accessing economic opportunities has closed by only 3%. That's where the problems actually lie. While only 23% of the gender gap in political empowerment has been closed. So actually, our biggest problems are in economic opportunities, right, that have only been closed by 3%, and political empowerment. Africa has not fared particularly well. Only 17 of our 54 African countries were among the top 100 countries in closing gender gaps in education, in health, in economic opportunity, and in leadership. Rwanda, the best performing in Africa, was number 6. I really think that Rwanda needs a round of applause. Kenya was number 48, so there's some way to go. In terms of closing the gender gap in political empowerment or leadership, Kenya ranked number 62, while Rwanda was number 7. Stubborn inequalities, therefore, remain. As of August 2015, only 22% of all national parliamentarians were female. Moreover, the number of women in the labor force only increased marginally from 1.5 billion in 2006 to 1.75 billion in 2015, meaning only an extra 250 million women have entered the labor force in 9 years. That figure is actually too low. The Gender Gap Report, and this will bring me almost to the end of this, estimates that it will take our world another 118 years, or until 2133, to close the economic gender gap entirely. That, my dear sisters, is not a flattering indictment. We must do better. I actually doubt that any of us will be around to see us close the gender economic gap entirely. So what we need to do, we need to engage those in authority. Pushing the agenda of women empowerment is an important first step towards improving the prospects for our women. I'm convinced that it will only take us 118 years to do this, if and only if we continue doing business as usual. That's if we leave most of the work for women empowerment to women's organizations, to women's activists, to others who are not in positions of authority. We must use those organizations to lobby, to push hard, to network, to identify women leaders. But we also need, and that's equally important, to work with those in authority, with CEOs, with parliamentarians, with departmental heads, with ministers, with presidents, and others in such positions. That will greatly improve our effectiveness in ensuring effective and equal access to opportunities for all of us, and in putting in place organizational structures that will ease the burden of balancing work and domestic responsibilities for us in the development and implementation of supportive public policies. And in two sectors especially, I think we need to be extremely focused: in the agricultural sector and in the SME sector, where the majority of our women earn their income and their livelihoods.